Hey there, Scorpio. Welcome to your reading for the middle of January 2025. You have this strength and resourcefulness card and this stability and security card. Both are pretty good, so they both kind of represent the same thing in a lot of ways. So you could be developing a lot of strength and security, or you're feeling more strong and secure in your life in general, which is nice. And I definitely feel that. And you have the strength card in your past. Having the strength card in your past is also pretty good because, the strength card is a display of strength. It is having to be strong, or, having to develop your strength in some way. And sure, we're going to take both of these together since they both kind of popped out there. But so it kind of says that you have developed a certain level of strength, or you have become stronger through probably, going through something or developing yourself in some way. And, again, this could be a good thing because when we develop strength, we can usually we can usually get something for it. And so there you go. How you enter into this reading, we're doing a Celtic cross, and your current general energies is a Three of Swords. Three of Swords can represent heartbreak, sadness. It can also represent needing to forgive the past. And I definitely feel that here. Those three swords are in your own heart. And so the whole point of the Three of Swords is that we don't have to forgive a person directly. We just have to forgive them in our heart. And if we do that, then we set our heart free. And that's the whole point of the Three of Swords. The Three of Swords is also temporary. So, it never lasts forever. And that's definitely something I would think about with the Three of Swords. We're also going to clarify this reading. We'll see what comes up. You have the Magician as your crossing energy, and I feel like there's some sort of mismatch here. Literally, that word is popping into my head, like mismatch. Something isn't matching, and you've been trying to manifest something. If we put him on the table, he's pointing to the Two of Pentacles and the Emperor. So you might be trying to, for example, manifest an Emperor type person, but there could be some sort of mismatch in your energy or in what you're trying to manifest. And I would look into that. I always think of, with the Magician, that sometimes we just aren't using the right tool for the job. He has mastery over all the suits in the tarot. So, if this is love, for example, it's like maybe you try to be logical, but maybe you need to be more creative with the wands, or maybe you need to bring more love into the situation with the cups, or maybe you need to be more practical with the pentacles. And, there really is no right or wrong answer here, but I would just try new things, especially if you're dating or trying to meet new people. There might just be a different approach. The other thing about the Magician is sometimes I just think we're in a period of reinvention with the Magician. And so naturally, if we are changing, we are not going to resonate with the same type of person anymore. And so, I do feel that for a lot of you Scorpio people, that you could just be going through this natural evolution that we all go through at different points in life, where we, change our preferences, or, maybe we just don't enjoy certain things anymore, or we become kind of like a different person, or we grow and evolve. And, I kind of feel that's what's going on for you here. So I just feel like this is a natural process that you're going through, right? Next, in the area of what's on your mind, or in the area of your thoughts, you have the Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles could be thinking about money, literally. She is very practical. She's also very resourceful as well. I think it's kind of hard for people not to focus on money right now because of Neptune and Pisces. I've been saying since 2016 that Neptune's getting to the end of Pisces. I said that basically at the beginning, by the time we get to the end of 2025, there will probably be some sort of significant change within finances in some way. And because, yes, Neptune will enter Aries this year, but it will retrograde back into Pisces. So we still have to complete the whole cycle before we see these changes. So going into 2026, there will probably be big changes. But I think on a personal level, it is making people think about their security and how they will be secure in the future. But also, I think there's a lot of opportunity for people who are resourceful. So I would be tapping into resources. This could include using your skills to make money on the side. I think in the future we'll see a lot of people who are going to manifest better finances through side hustles or side gigs, things like that. And I would just be thinking about all that. I think you are. It's coming up in the area of your thoughts. You're probably just thinking about, how can I make more money? In the area of your foundation, you have the Eight of Wands. Really good, because the Eight of Wands in the area of your foundation would kind of say that your thoughts are all pointing in the right direction. All these wands on the Eight of Wands are all pointing towards one thing. They're pointing in one direction. And so I feel as long as you're staying focused, things will go really, really well for you. I think that if the challenge for Scorpio is to not pull in two different directions, right? And so I think you have to be very careful with your thoughts. This is coming up as positive in this reading. I'm just saying, I would be paying attention to your thoughts. You can't think, oh, I want to improve my finances, and then at the same time think, but I'm not good at anything, or I can't make money, or all those other things. So I would be working on your thoughts and correcting your thoughts. I always say we don't have to be perfect at all. I think just the whole point is to just correct your thoughts. You have a negative thought, just correct it and say, oh no, maybe that's not true. I can move in this new direction. Again, I don't think we have to be perfect at all. So I would just be correcting thoughts throughout the day whenever you think of it, and just notice that things will probably start moving forward in a new direction. We're definitely in a time of acceleration as well. So I think over the next few years that a lot of things are going to happen very quickly. And, I just think we're in a time of acceleration. That's it. Next, in the area of your past, this is the energy that you are moving past. You have the Scorpio card, which is you. It says the underworld. It says, awaken your inner witch to maximize your potential and connect to the universe. Magician, for sure. Use that power of manifestation. You have this evil eye card. It says, protect yourself against evil eye so negativity doesn't impact your life. Yes. So I do think you need to protect yourself from negativity in general, and I would just keep it positive. You have the Strength card in the past as well. Like I said, I kind of feel like you did do something that was strong, and now you're moving past it. It's kind of like you're getting the results for your strength. She is taming this lion that's on this card. She is doing something that requires strength. And so I feel a lot of you could be kind of like getting the rewards, or, getting the benefits from your strength, if that makes sense. And I definitely feel that will be a good thing with the Strength card. Next, in the area of your very near future, you have this card that says the energy is gaining momentum. Yes, Eight of Wands. So this is why you really want to focus on your thoughts, because you have the Eight of Wands, which is momentum, and you also have this card that says energy is gaining momentum. So the more you can focus in the positive direction, the better. You have this card that says hold your vision. Eight of Wands again. Eight of Wands is one direction, picking one thing that you want to accomplish and making it happen. Pretty sure I said the same thing in your last reading as well. So, definitely something you're going to want to focus on with these two cards. Next, you have the also in the area of your very near future, you have the Two of Pentacles and the Emperor. The Two of Pentacles is like work hard, play hard, and the Emperor is about taking control. Now, the thing about the Emperor is kind of like the Empress. He takes maybe more action than the Empress, maybe, but he also doesn't stress himself out like the Empress. So he has his armor on underneath his cloak here, and but he's sitting in his throne. And so this represents the fact that he is ready to take action when an opportunity presents itself. So again, if you are asking the universe for opportunities, you can relax and take care of yourself, and also like Two of Pentacles, work hard, play hard, right? But when an opportunity presents itself, I would be ready to take advantage of that opportunity. Make sure that you're making it happen when you do get opportunity. Next, in the area of your outcome row, you have this relax and freedom card. So all fixed signs have a very strong focus of freedom. Again, we still have Uranus and Taurus until like the end of the year, basically. So, I think Uranus and Taurus for fixed signs is all about freedom. I've been talking about this with you for years, because if there's like one thing I think fixed signs should be working on, it's creating more freedom in their life. And so that could be any type of freedom that you desire. It could also just be the freedom to do whatever you want when you want, right? And so it could be any type of freedom. But that's what I would be focusing on. Just like I said with the Emperor, it's funny that you have that relax card, because I think, the Emperor is encouraging that. I think the Emperor is saying, be in a relaxed position, and when an opportunity presents itself, that's when you take action. Also, over the next few months, you have the Page of Swords. I always really like the Page of Swords for Scorpio, because Scorpios are like the detectives in the zodiac, and the Page of Swords is kind of like the detective in the tarot. He becomes interested in something, and he learns everything he can about it. He enters into detective mode. He starts educating himself on whatever he's interested in, or he asks a lot of questions. He's kind of like the child in the tarot as well. Children are very curious. They ask lots of questions about things that come in for them. So I think it would be a great time for you to just embrace your Scorpio nature and ask lots of questions, dig into things, learn about new things, explore new things. All that is popping into my head here. Next, in your closest relationships, you have the Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups is a very good energy. This is all relationships in your life, and it's a very good card for relationships. It's kind of like a very kind, compassionate, heart-based energy. So you might be finding that people are just more caring or more nurturing to you at this time, for the rest of the month. You could also be finding a lot of support at this time as well, and I would use that support. Like, I would make sure that if you are feeling that, if you want people to support you and all that other stuff, that you actually are tapping into that support. And that's what I would do here with this card, is kind of like you kind of use that to your advantage. Next, in the area of your future feelings, you have the Two of Swords. So like, should I, shouldn't I type of energy here. I think decisive energy is what is going to set you free. And so, can we make bad decisions or wrong decisions in life? I don't think so, because people always say, well, yeah, you absolutely can make a wrong decision. I'm like, well, actually you can't, because you made the decision. So by the definition, you really can't make a bad decision. You can make a decision that has an outcome that you didn't want, but you made the decision. I think it's better to make decisions, because then we can pivot, right? So I don't care if I make wrong decisions. I am wrong more than I am right in life, plain and simple, right? I am always wrong. But when I'm right, I'm really right. And that is what life has taught me, right? And, I think it's truly what has made me successful in life, is that I'm just willing to be wrong more. And that's what I would do here with the Two of Swords, is like, don't be afraid to make a choice in some area of your life. You can always pivot. You can always evolve. You have the Magician. You can always turn your situation around. Yes, it might require more work. Yes, it might be annoying. But, really, I think embracing that flexibility is what Scorpio's like trying to learn, or the universe is trying to get you to learn this right now, that a decision in movement is better than no movement. Your outcome is the Four of Wands. Four of Wands is the card of marriage in the tarot. It's also the card of freedom. We don't really see a lot of love here. That does not mean that you won't have love. Doesn't mean that you couldn't get married to a person that you're with right now, but I just feel this is talking about you setting yourselves free. The Four of Wands is really a card of completion. Even in a lot of tarot books, they say, the Four of Wands is kind of like, it can come up when you're completing a project or you're completing something else. You're crossing through the threshold here on the card, and you're going to the other side. And so I feel for a lot of you, you could be kind of, celebrating on the other side of something, which I also think would be really good for you with that card. So let's see here, Scorpio, what we get. With the Three of Swords and the Magician, you have the Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords can be lying, cheating, stealing. I do not like the Seven of Swords with the Magician, I will say that. I personally like the Seven of Swords. It's a golden card. Golden cards in the tarot are meant to be positive no matter what. But I read based off of all the cards that are here, so definitely you could have been hurt by a person who is sneaky or a liar, cheater, stealer. Of course, I would be careful of that energy. One thing I will say is we have the North Node move into Pisces, and no, you're not a Pisces, but, I guess I could see, like, when the North Node moves into a sign, the North Node can definitely bring things, like, this isn't 100% accurate. This is Chrissy's crappy astrology here, so just keep that in mind. But I do think that the North Node in Pisces could also bring people back from the past. On top of that, we have Venus moving into Pisces this year. We have Venus going retrograde as well, so this year, right when basically it's going to go into Aries, retrograde into Pisces. And what I would say is that could definitely bring sneaky people back from the past, so I would be careful and avoid sneaky people, plain and simple. With the Queen of Pentacles, you have the Chariot. Your control. The Chariot is all about control. There are two cards of control in the tarot, the Strength card and the Chariot. Strength card is soft control. The Chariot is hard control. It is like taking control of the direction of your life and making something happen. He is leaving the city behind him and he's doing this to set himself apart. He wants to be unique. He wants to be different. He has these stars up here, these moons right here, and so it represents as above, so below. He is in perfect alignment with what he wants. These two sphinxes are not attached to the chariot, and so it kind of represents the fact that they are guiding him in a direction, but they're not attached to the chariot. So he is trusting that the universe is guiding him in the right direction. And I think as long as you're in alignment, you are going to get to where you need to go. But remember what we said about your words. We see a ton of cards of direction here already. The Eight of Wands, the Chariot, and whatever this card was that you had over here. Hold your vision, right? So I think as long as you're holding your vision, only focusing in one direction, that's going to be the best thing for you. With the Eight of Wands, here you go. You have the Ace of Pentacles. Ace of Pentacles is a big opportunity. We were talking about an opportunity with the Emperor. He is ready to go at a moment's notice. So again, there might be, this kind of gives me the vibes that there might be an opportunity that comes in for you this month. I'm also getting like the beginning of February as well. So, I would pay attention for like the next month from, the last half of January, first half of February. There could be an opportunity where you're not really going to have a lot of time to make a decision, but I would make that decision quickly. Sometimes I think we get opportunities in life where we really don't have a lot of time to think about it. We just have to say yes. And you can always say no later. You can always leave as well. So if you this could be any opportunity, but if you get an opportunity that seems important, I would take it. The thing, I like the Ace of Pentacles. My problem with the Ace of Pentacles is that when we receive an Ace of Pentacles opportunity, that we know that it's just something that has potential, and potential means nothing. So, usually this type of opportunity, we kind of look at it and we say like, okay, that's great, but is it going to work? And really, there is no answer to that question. So, there's a lot of kind of like blind faith that I'm feeling from this reading, and I do think it's important. With the Strength card, you have the Strength card. Basically, the universe saying I meant what I said. So you've developed a lot of strength. This should give you confidence as well. Like, if you're getting like a work opportunity or a business opportunity, and if you're not sure if you can handle it, this is basically saying, yes, you have learned what you need to learn to be able to handle it. With the Emperor and the Two of Pentacles, you have the Star. Yes, very good. The Star is your North Star. It is your guiding light. It is also a card of picking one thing and making it happen, which I definitely said to you in your last reading. And I'm going to say it again because it's still coming up. So I would pick one thing, make it happen. The Star is also about kind of believing the impossible. The whole point of the Star is that she's pouring this water onto the earth here, and that water is coming from the pool of universal consciousness. And so the water is flowing out into the earth, and it basically says what's possible for one person is possible for everyone if they put in the effort. And so you can accomplish anything you set your mind to if someone else has done it. With the Page of Swords, you have the Ace of Swords, two aces down, which is great. Ace of Swords is a victory. It is also the truth. A lot of you, with the energy that's coming up here could be kind of discovering your own inner truth, like what you want your life to look like or the things that you want to manifest. It's kind of interesting feeling because I do feel you are blocking out maybe you have learned that you need to block out what other people want for you. With that card, the Ace of Swords is your truth. I feel that in this reading that the Ace of Swords, can represent a victory and all this other stuff. And you have great cards for having a victory. Chariot, this card. So, but, I really feel there's something about you realizing, what you want out of life and, kind of eliminating the noise. With the Queen of Cups, we have the Magician again. So you have clearly, you could be attracting connections or you could be working on attracting things from your heart. Again, heart-based energy or the energy of love is the best place to attract anything you want into your life from. So I would be definitely tapping into that. I always pull the card at the end that the Magician is pointing to. You have this card, it says, emotions are running high. Yes, definitely time to get into control of your emotions. Queen of Cups in the positive is very in control of her emotions. So using positive emotion to manifest your desires is kind of what this is saying. With the Two of Swords, you have the Eight of Cups. Walking away from things that no longer serve you. I do think you could be walking away from something. Ace of Swords, Page of Swords, Three of Swords, Seven of Swords, all that. You could be cutting things out that no longer serve you, but this is probably going to lead to something better. With the Four of Wands, you have the Judgment card, waking up to your true self, really. I mean, the Judgment card is all about your purpose or waking up to your purpose and needing to answer the call of your purpose as well. But, what I would say here is I kind of feel that Scorpio is waking up to the truth. You have this Cane card. It says pay attention to your health. I think everybody needs to pay attention to their health right now. So I would just stay healthy. Do everything you can to stay healthy. You have this dagger. It says fears, worries, tense situation. Mars retrograde, especially for you as a fixed sign. Mars is retrograde in Leo, another fixed sign. So, Mars retrograde can really just put everyone on edge. And I would just realize that, whatever you're worried about, it's probably being amplified by the retrograde. And it's probably not, I just threw the card. But anyway, it's probably not a real concern. You have this woman card that says dealings with relationships with a woman. I always clarify these cards. You have this camel. It says persevere and you will overcome problems. So this could be you needing to stick with something that you're working on so that you can overcome the issue. Although I kind of feel like you have because of the strength card. The strength card, again, is an action of strength. And it's coming up in your past. It said you had to be strong in the past. And, so I kind of feel like you are overcoming these issues. You have this rainbow. Here you go. You can't make this up. You have this rainbow card. It says the most difficult part of a situation is over. Literally what I just said. So that cracks me up. And there you go. I think you've overcome whatever this is. You have this sunrise card. It says new creative ideas, new ventures, a fresh start. Ace of Swords, Four of Wands. These are cards of a fresh start. So definitely a fresh start coming in for you. But I like this for you, Scorpio, much better than what we've been getting for you. So thank you for being here and definitely enjoy your month.